This is 17 News with continuing coronavirus coverage.
Good afternoon, and thanks for joining us this afternoon. I am working from home right now, and at 17 News, we are continuing to practice social distancing along with self-isolation. The latest on the coronavirus now, a week ago, we had our first case of COVID-19. This afternoon, we have more than a dozen, and health officials expect that number to rise. Overnight, we learned about a new case confirmed in Kern County. That means we have 14 cases. 13 of those are people who live here. When you include the New York woman who tested positive on St. Patrick's Day, that brings our total up to 14. That's 7 more cases than Public Health was reporting over the weekend. According to Public Health, all 14 individuals are recovering at home, and they want to continue to remind the community the importance of social distancing.
I would like to start by thanking our residents for adhering to the governor's order to stay at home unless you need to leave your home for essential services. And if you do leave your home, to practice social distancing, keeping 6 feet between you and the other person. And we want to encourage you, get out and enjoy the great outdoors. You can walk, you can bike, but just make sure that you are adhering to that 6-foot social distancing.
Along with the confirmed cases at last check, 201 tests have come back negative, but there are still 301 tests pending. And health officials across California report more than 2,200 cases, along with 42 deaths as of this afternoon. And nationwide, more than 44,000 people have tested positive for COVID-19, and 544 people have died. Let's sing things over now to Kevin Charette. Kevin, how are things looking out there?
Well, Nicole, we thought we'd see a little bit of sunshine, especially in the mountains, but I just don't think that's going to happen. We've got some clouds, so you're going to be traveling along the 58 that direction. You'll probably run into that. Let's show you our local satellite and radar. Nothing on radar, but definitely you can see the clouds have started to bank up and thicken up around the area. So this is going to be the case as we go throughout today. We're not going to see much in terms of sunshine. The clouds are just going to be hanging around. Currently, Bakersfield sits at 57 degrees. We have a north-northwest wind at 8 miles per hour. And then we take a look at Futurecast HD, and it does show these clouds kind of hanging around throughout the day. It wants to bring in a little bit of drizzle, but that will be about it. We're not looking at any major rain to happen today. As we take a look at the temperatures, we will be in the 60s, a little cooler than yesterday when we almost hit 70, back in the lower 50s by midnight. And then for the Tehachapi area, you're sitting at 41. Look at the visibility out at the airport there, down to 0 with a northwest wind at 16. So definitely seeing some low-lying cloud cover and fog. Temperatures today will be in the upper 40s and then slipping back into the 30s by midnight tonight. And we are tracking another storm that's going to bring some valley rain, and also we're going to be seeing some mountain snow as snow levels are expected to drop. I'll have much more on that part of the forecast. That's coming your way in just a little bit. We'll send it back to you for now.
The second man is dead after a shooting in Southeast Bakersfield. Bakersfield police say officers were called to the area of Cottonwood and East Pacheco roads just after 8 last night. One man was pronounced dead at the scene, and police say another man was found in a car with several wounds at Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard in East Brundage Lane. He later died on his way to the hospital. It does not look like this shooting was gang-related. This investigation is ongoing, and anyone with any information is asked to contact BPD at 327-7111. And a man accused of assaulting her mother was shot and killed by sheriff's deputies in Mojave. KCSO says the deputies were called to a disturbance call involving a woman and her 50-year-old son yesterday afternoon. Deputies say the woman was assaulted. Deputies then arrived to the home with a search warrant and asked the man to surrender. KCSO says he didn't. Officials say the man then started shooting at deputies from inside the home. 3 deputies fired back, killing the man inside. And the search is on for a man suspected in a carjacking and kidnapping. Officers say it happened yesterday afternoon on Ming Avenue. The victim was sitting in their car when the suspect got into the driver's seat. Then he drove away with the victim still in the car. He drove towards Romero Road and Stein Road. Then he jumped out of the car and ran. Well, now a message of hope from Bakersfield Mayor Karen asking people to stay at home, thanking those who are saving lives.
We're being called upon to stay at home. That's not an easy order. It's hard. We've seen many wonderful examples of what it means to save lives by staying at home. Brave businesses that have temporarily closed their doors, neighbors and families that are learning how to check in with one another through technology, employees finding ways to work from home. Thank you to everyone who is following the guidelines.
Now, several clinics around Kern County are now testing for COVID-19. Accelerated Urgent Care on Coffee Road in Stockdale Highway is just one location. Priority Urgent Care says all of its buildings test for COVID-19. Dignity Health offers a free online checkup for people with milder symptoms. Omni Health also tests for coronavirus, and local hospitals are testing too. And according to Public Health Today, Ridgecrest Regional Hospital is now offering drive-through testing. Reminder, you'll only be tested if you are showing symptoms, so call your doctor first. And here are the symptoms of coronavirus. They include fever, a dry cough, meaning there won't be mucus, fatigue and shortness of breath. Less common symptoms include aches and pains, sore throat, runny or stuffy nose, and diarrhea. Flu symptoms are similar, but muscle and joint pain, a runny nose, a headache will be more common for the flu. And it's officially spring, so that means a lot of people have allergies right now. Those symptoms include sneezing, coughing, itchy eyes, and a runny or stuffy nose. Again, if you think you have symptoms of coronavirus, you are asked to call your doctor before going to their office. And restaurants around the country are teaming up to get Americans to eat out. They have dubbed today Great American Takeout Day. A coalition of restaurants are calling everyone in the nation to order out. Some are even offering deals and free delivery. The coalition includes companies like Panera Bread. Their push comes as the restaurant industry struggles with the coronavirus pandemic. The industry estimates up to 7 million people will be affected by this. And just a reminder here, local restaurants are trying to stay open as well. Some are offering takeout, delivery, and curbside pickup. We have a list of that is updated around the clock for you, and you can find that at KGET.com. And while you're there, we also have a list of grocery stores dedicating special early hours for seniors and people with disabilities. And all of that information we have gathered for you so far, and you can find it on one spot at KGET.com for our full coverage of the coronavirus pandemic. And while you and your kids are stuck at home, it's important to keep your kids busy. Tips to help your kid avoid boredom while setting your mind at ease. Your 17 Health Watch is right after the break. Welcome back in your 17th Health Watch. The coronavirus stayed on services aboard the Diamond Princess cruise ship for more than 2 weeks. That is according to a new CDC report, which examined the outbreak aboard the cruise ship that was under quarantine in Japan last month. The data shows that among the 712 passengers who tested positive, nearly half were asymptomatic. The virus was also found on surfaces up to 17 days after the rooms were vacant, but before they were disinfected. However, the CDC scientists say the data cannot be used to determine whether transmission occurred from contaminated surfaces. They also say more research is needed. The report also looked at the outbreak aboard the Grand Princess, which was in limbo off the California coast for several days. A total of 469 people were tested and 17% came back positive. And more families are being cooped up together at home as a result of the coronavirus pandemic. Experts say that could lead to stress for the parents and children. Experts from the American Academy of Pediatrics say it is important to engage your children in constructive activities. Doctors say bored kids are more likely to act out. And if they start misbehaving, it is important to know when you should not respond as long as they aren't doing anything dangerous. The experts also say do not spank your child because it could actually increase aggressive behavior and does not teach them self-control. Let's take a look back outside and send things back over to Kevin. Kevin, it kind of looks like it might rain out there today.
Well, we're not expecting any rain, but we are going to see the clouds. And, we were talking about people staying at home. Here at home, we have the cloud cover. We're sitting at 56 degrees out in Arvin. Clouds are all around, not a peak of sun. And then for the Wasco area, we have cloudy skies there. You're also in the mid-50s right now. And then we take a look at Fraser Park. We've got some clouds, even a little bit of fog, and 43. And then Golden Hills, you've been dealing with some clouds and low-lying fog all morning long, and you're still seeing it there, 43 degrees on the temperature. Bakersfield at 57 with a light wind out of the north-northwest at 8 miles per hour right now. Our high for the day, 57 so far. Overnight, 51, slightly above the normal, 47. And we take a look at the skies, and you can see the clouds are around, and they're not going to go anywhere throughout the day because tomorrow we're expecting that system, so we're only going to enhance these clouds as we head into tonight. The rain will arrive for tomorrow and into Thursday, and we're also going to be looking at some lowering snow levels. Now, temperatures around the state today, 44 in Sacramento, 61 in Fresno, 65 out of Los Angeles, and the big picture, you can see that area of low pressure to the north. Now, we're going to see less amounts of rain that we saw just a few days ago because this system is going to ride more inland. It's not going to be able to tap into as much offshore moisture from what we can see right now, but you can see it kind of pushes on through, and then by Thursday late it exits, and Friday will be dry. Looks like late Friday night we may see a band of clouds push on in according to our Futurecast model, and when we take a look at amounts, Wednesday and Thursday, right around a tenth to a quarter of an inch of rain for most valley locations. And yes, with that snow level dropping, we could be looking at 1 to 2 inches of snow into the Fraser Park area, maybe a little bit more in the Pine Mountain Club area, and then 1 to 2 inches into Tehachapi. And this would impact our passes, so we're going to be watching that carefully. Allergy report, all of us have been suffering from this. It is at a high level today with a 9.7. Oak, poplar, and juniper are the highest allergies, along with the grasses, which are normal this time of year. As we take a look at the overall conditions today, cloudy skies, 64 in Bakersfield, 63 in Delano, 61 in Taft, and then tonight we're in the 40s and 50s. For the mountains, cloudy skies remainder of the day under breezy conditions, 52 in Fraser Park, 51 in Tehachapi with right near 60 into the Kern Valley. And then for the desert, we'll look for a little bit more sunshine here, but still breezy, winds gusting to 40 and a high of 60 in Mojave. Your extended forecast does show the chance of showers Wednesday, Thursday. Friday, the clouds hang on, and then look at next Sunday, Monday. We start to clear it out and warm it up. 74 by Monday, and then for the mountains, same scenario. Snow level will drop Thursday down about 3,000 feet, and then for the Kern Valley tomorrow and Thursday, mix of rain and snow showers depending on your elevation. But then by next Monday, we're going to be right near 70. So not a bad forecast. We need the rain, so it arrives for tomorrow. Nicole?
Thanks for that, Kevin. Well, as COVID-19 continues to spread, more people are stuck at home, and that means deadlines are being pushed back. Well, if you need to apply for a Real ID, that deadline is now being extended, and a commercial airline is canceling thousands of daily flights to help combat the spread of the coronavirus. Your 17 Business Watch is right after the break.
KGET Business Watch is brought to you by Grapevine MSP Technology Services, the Valley's leading IT service provider.
Welcome back to your 17 Business Watch. Well, travelers who don't have driver's license or state-issued identification that comply with the new Real ID have been given an extension. On Monday, President Trump said he was postponing the October deadline due to the coronavirus outbreak. The president said he was concerned about crowding at state motor vehicle offices. The change is intended to foster social distancing to help stop the spread of COVID-19. Without the change, many would not be allowed to board flights in the U.S. without one of the Real ID cards. Trump said the new deadline will be announced soon. The delay is welcoming news to some states who had hoped for more time because of the huge number of travelers trying to get into the DMV before the deadline. And Southwest Airlines cuts flights due to the coronavirus outbreak. The airline says it's cutting 1,500 daily flights, which is about 40% reduction. The cuts go into effect on Friday. The increased flights cuts up from a planned 1,000 daily flights cancellation announced just days ago and put in place Sunday were disclosed in a memo to employees yesterday. They come a day after Southwest CEO told employees that the airline is in the fight of our lives to protect the company and its operations. Southwest, the nation's largest domestic carrier, has about 4,000 daily flights. And a manufacturing company in South Carolina is trying to help with supply shortages because of the COVID-19 outbreak. Instead of just using its facility to produce turnips, Composite and CAT Resources have shifted to make masks. Christy O'Connor reports.
On an average day at Composite Resources and its sister company CAT Resources in Rock Hill, carbon fiber components used in the aerospace and defense industries are produced. For example, more than 15,000 tourniquets are made here every day.
CAT Resources manufactures the most commonly used tourniquet by our U.S. Armed Forces and all of our NATO allies.
But after noticing a mass shortage of N95 face masks amid the COVID-19 outbreak, the company redirected its production.
We had prototyped this thing, gone into production, launched an e-commerce site, all within about 24 hours.
Employees are stitching together cotton poly fabric that will become face masks for healthcare workers and others in need of protection across the country.
We've sold, in a matter of 24 hours, we've sold in excess of 2,000 masks.
Managing partner Morgan Brady says the double-layered mask provides similar protection as a surgical mask.
This can be used over an N95 mask, which will allow the person to wash and reuse this mask, extending the life of these hard-to-find N95 masks.
And as COVID-19 spreads, they plan to expand their production.
What can we do to help our community and help our nation in this time of crisis?
Well, many may feel stressed during this time, unsure of what's next. Dr. Corey Gonzalez joins us to help mitigate some of those concerns we are feeling. Stay with us. Welcome back. We're continuing our coronavirus coverage. To help cope with the stress and anxiety some of us are feeling, Dr. Corey Gonzalez joined us this morning to help ease some of those concerns.
We're perceiving so many threats to our security as far as our health, our families, our finances, and people feel confined and trapped with a lot of these anxieties and fears, and they're not getting the peer support they normally get. You're not getting, the barbecues, the get-togethers, the concerts, the church and school activities and so forth. So it lends itself to a lot of hyperarousal, which is not good for us. If our brain is constantly saying danger and threat, it's there to help protect us in the short term, but in the long term, if we continue with hyperarousal, it can impair our immune system, which we need to fight this virus. It also impairs our cognitions. Some studies show about 30 points when we're in acute stress for our anxiety. And, it can cause a lot of impairment in the quality of our life. So it's important that we pay attention to this and try to shut it off if we can.
Are there some things that we're doing right now that are maybe making this worse, such as constantly checking updates on state news stations and on social media and basically talking about nothing else with our friends and family?
Absolutely. I mean, we need to unplug from this stuff. It's not good for the brain to constantly do this. If we constantly do this, it actually can impair the structure of the brain. The hippocampus can shrink. So it impairs our ability to concentrate and have memory. It also, like I said, impairs our immune system as well. So we need to unplug, and it's hard to do that, but we have to kind of structure into our day all the things that we need during this time. How we look at things really affects us, Maddie. So we want to look at what we can control and not control. That's why people led into this hoarding behavior, because they felt a loss of control and anxiety, so they turned to hoarding things that felt like something they could control. But the old serenity prayer, what we can control, what we can't control, is important to get out of ourselves and think about the community, and also, like I said, structuring some time for exercise. That helps your immune system. Nutrition helps your nutrition. Meditation, cultivate social stuff. I'm now using the social platforms. We can do this to cultivate social stuff. Your family, your pets, your neighbors, and so all these things we need to kind of structure into our daytime so we have some things to do to help us feel a sense of control.
Yeah, use those social media platforms well. Don't let them suck you down the rabbit hole of endless scrolling. That's going to hurt your psyche even more. And you have some recommendations on some apps that we can use, right?
Yeah, I sent them in. There's some mindfulness tips apps that I put in there to Erica. I don't know if we got the display there, but
yes, we do.
Apps are really good. to get mindful, to be able to shut off our brain, get in tune to our senses, is really good for us, to quiet our brain. It's good for our immune system. It's been proven to help our sleep. We can get stress-related headaches from, and sleep problems and all sorts of symptoms if we have this hyperarousal going all the time. So we need to take a break from it, plug into our families, plug into nature, exercise, good nutrition.
What are the names? We saw those, and I think we can run them one more time, of these apps that you were recommending, or, that may help people a little bit.
Well, there's the Relaxation and Stress Reduction by Martha Davis, which I think is really useful. It's got a myriad of different ways of calming your brain down, breathing exercises, imagery, all sorts of ways to shut off your brain so that you can be well and get your immunity up so you can fight this thing off.
Yeah, we've heard of Headspace. I've heard of that a lot of time, and Calm was another one that was just up there. So
Calm is another good one, yes.
We're going to post all of this on our website, kget.com, so you can go through it for yourself.
This is 17 News with continuing coronavirus coverage.